Hey gang, it has been a minute or more since I made a video, and the reason for that is, well, I've just been lazy. No, actually, got some great news coming up. I will be launching my own supplement line. No BS, no hype. Well, a little bit of hype. Fantastic product that is going to be launching soon, and I plan on doing a video about it. But say no more. Today's video is about the shit that we do wrong that sabotages our weight loss goals. And I couldn't think of a better time to do it because all of the New Year's resolutions seem to be hitting the board, and that is the time when our coaching business goes nuts. For the life of me, I can't understand why, because why do we need a special day to do the shit that we should be doing all year long anyways? You know you gotta lose weight. Stop treating it like it's some sort of application. It's not like brushing your teeth. You only do it for a certain period of time and then you stop. No, it's gotta be an ongoing thing. Or you need to get comfortable being a fat version of yourself. Don't be frustrated and fat. At least be fat and happy because you know that you do not have what it takes to do things properly. So I'm going to give you the top 10 lists of the shit that you might be doing wrong that maybe you have somehow convinced yourself that you're not doing right, or you're overlooking this, or you're undermining it to a certain degree because you don't feel it's that important. Trust me, it's important. The window of fat loss is this big. It really is when it comes to calories. The margin of error and the shit that we do wrong is like this big. Listen up. Here we go. Top 10 without further ado. Eating healthy. How many times have I heard, yeah, but I eat healthy and I just can't seem to lose weight? Eating healthy does not mean that you are eating right. Losing weight means that you are in... Shut up! French bulldogs. Wonderful. Eating healthy, losing weight means you are in a calorie deficit. You are taking in a little bit less food than your body requires, or you're burning excess through exercise or activity of some sort. And you've shifted the balance between caloric intake and activity in your favor, and voila, the scale is going down. Whew, no brainer. So if you're jumping on the scale and it's going up, well then you're eating too much and not exercising enough. If the scale isn't changing, then you're kind of broke even. You're at your metabolic standstill. You're going to need to decrease the food and or increase the activity to get the result that you want. But a lot of people think they're doing it because they're eating healthy. It's possible, yes it is, to get fat. Big surprise. Eating chicken and vegetables, yes, it's a lot harder than eating pasta with cheese sauce. A lot easier than eating ice cream and donuts and cookies and all those fun things. But if you're not in a caloric deficit, your body doesn't give a shit whether it's chicken or rice you're eating too much of, or donuts. It's going on your ass as fat. It doesn't matter what. You need to be eating in a deficit, keeping an eye on the scale. You can't be worried to get on the scale because it puts you in a bad mood. I'm in a bad mood whenever I jump on the scale. Why you're in the bad mood? Because it bugs you, because you're not doing the shit properly that you know you should be doing all along. Number 2, overvaluing exercise. Everybody thinks that, hey, I'm exercising, I just fucking eat whatever I want and I'm fine, I'm gonna lose weight. No, it doesn't work that way. Check out the little readout on the treadmill next time you're on it. It doesn't say that you burned 1,000 calories in 20 minutes, now does it? It's gonna say a couple hundred. Do you know how much that is? That's like an apple with a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's what you're doing the cardio to eliminate. Now, what if you had 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 2 apples, or heaven forbid, a donut? Oh my God, a donut, 300, 400 calories. Think of how long you got to be on that treadmill for just to break even. Is that worth it to you? Do you feel that you're pedaling for donuts and that's worth it? If so, keep doing it. But if you're that person that's been on the treadmill for 6 months or a year and you look the same or worse, you're not doing the shit properly. You're not keeping track of what's going on. You're not following the rules. There's so many resources available to us. Oh my God, there's the internet. There's ChatGPT, there's Google, there's all sorts of things. There's videos, there's TikTok, there's social media that is spoon feeding us this shit. Yes, it can be overwhelming. I agree. But if you're looking at your favorite fitness person and they're telling you what to do and you're not doing that, hey, this one's on you, okay? You're not doing it because it's hard. We have to learn how to do the hard shit, because if it were easy, everybody would be doing it, wouldn't they? It's hard. I know we don't like to do hard things, but we're going to have to if we want the result that we want, or learn how to get happy being the fat version of yourself. That's all there is to it. Don't think that you can out-exercise a bad diet. There is no way that you're going to burn that many calories that's going to make that much of a difference if your plan is to still eat shitty more than 90% of the time, more than 10% of the time. That's way more calories than you're going to burn doing exercise. How does that happen? Because sometimes number 3 creeps in. We lie about our portion sizes to ourselves, or we don't even know. Heaven forbid, we don't know what our portion sizes are. I shouldn't have to weigh my food. That is way too much. But if you're not getting the result that you want, if you're not one of these genetically elite assholes that we love to hate, that can eat whatever it is they want and not gain weight, it's not many of us, is it? Here's what you got to do. You got to put your plate on the scale and then serve the food onto the plate. And voila, it's going to be a little number on the scale. It says how much it weighs. Didn't take any extra time. You were still going to shovel that mashed potato on the plate anyways, but now the plate is on a scale. The scale is going to say how much it weighs. And then you're going to go to your favorite fitness tracker, because there's 10 million of them now. Many of them are free. Some of the good ones, oh my God, you have to pay for it. Heaven forbid we have to pay for fitness or health advice. It's not worth it, is it? No, it's not worth it. To be healthy and look better and not feel like shit. Not worry about fat clothes and how I look at the beach. If it's important to you, you'll do it, right? Is it important to you? Do it. That way, you know that, hey, I'm eating 150 grams of mashed potatoes. I'm not eating 300 grams. Or I'm eating 150 grams of chicken breast, and it's not 250 grams. And then you can go to your favorite calorie tracker and punch in 150 grams of chicken breast and 200 grams of potatoes or whatever it is, and it's going to tell you how many calories you just ate. And then at the end of the week, you can say, hey, this is how many calories I ate on average. What happened to my weight? Did it go down? If it went down by a pound or 2, hey, voila, you're heading in the right direction. If it went up, you're eating too much. You need to trim back some of that stuff on the plate. But if you have no idea what it is that you're eating, and you're just winging it because you're eating healthy, I'm eating healthy. Quantity doesn't seem to matter as long as you're eating healthy. That's bullshit, by the way. It does matter. Total calories. You have to be in a deficit, not an excess. Doesn't matter what's that excess is from. It's excess. That's why they call it that. It's going to go on your ass as fat. You're not going to be happy about that. It's going to make you depressed. And then you're going to do one of these other things that we talk about a little bit later called emotional eating. Oh, I've had such a bad day. I'm going to eat my feelings. You know what? Your results don't care if you've had a bad day. Success does not care if you've had a bad day. You can't say to your fat ass I've had a bad day. So please excuse this ice cream and pizza and cookies because I've had a bad day. Does that make it better? Maybe momentarily, but you know what? When you get on the scale again, or when you look in the mirror and you're still overweight and perhaps you're unhealthy, heaven forbid that they run hand in hand. Am I fat shaming? Yeah, I am. It's not about being comfortable in your skin. It's about being healthy and living a healthy life. And people, you don't have to rely on people to take care of you because you messed up along the way, because you're eating for your feelings. Don't do that. Know what it is that you're eating. Would you have somebody build a house without a blueprint? Would you have your cardiologist go in for open heart surgery and say, hey, listen, I don't really have a plan here. I'm just kind of going to go in and see what's going on, and I'm going to do my best, and, I'm going to wing it. You wouldn't be too happy. You'd be out of there faster. You want to know that this guy knows his shit. You want to know exactly what he's going to do, and you want to know that he's competent and confident in his actions. Are you competent and confident in your actions when it comes to something that is this important to you? We will put in 30 years or more at a shitty job that we don't like and show up day in and day out, day after day, sometimes for a crappy, shitty paycheck. And that's the effort that we give to that. But when it comes to diet, nutrition, exercise, you know what? It's not that important to me. I want you to look in the mirror next time you're upset about being fat and look yourself straight in the eye and say, this is not important to me. My health and well-being is not important to me. My spouse, would-be spouse or potential spouse, should be okay with me being unhealthy, and they don't deserve the best version of me. What you see is what you get, right? Come on, smarten up. Chasing a scale number instead of body fat. As long as the scale goes down, everything's okay. So I'm going to pedal for donuts until the scale goes down, and then what happens? If that were the case, why aren't marathon runners, why don't they look like they're in great shape? Why do they look like they're sick? Why do they look like they have some flesh-eating disease? Because they have chewed the muscle right off of themselves by abundant amounts of calorie burning that do not amount to making you metabolically efficient, because the only thing that's going to do that is muscle tissue. And what builds muscle tissue? Weight training, intense weight training coupled by proper nutrition, protein, and recovery is going to build metabolically active muscles which burn calories all day long. While you're sitting and watching Netflix, you're burning calories if you got a little bit extra muscle on you. If the only calorie you're burning is on the treadmill and you're grinding it out for hours and hours, week after week after week, and look the same, you're doing the shit wrong. If you don't have the willingness or the time to learn, then consider hiring a coach. Voila. I've been doing this for 40 some odd years now with thousands of people. If you don't have it in you, hire somebody that does to tell you exactly what it is that you have to do day in and day out, and this is the plan that you follow, yet people still seem to screw it up. The problem is the plan. No, the problem is not the plan. The problem is the people in the plan not following the plan because the plan is hard. The plan is not cookies and donuts and free for all and exercise when you feel like it, when you have time. No, it doesn't work that way. Choose your hard. It's going to kind of suck. Embrace the suck. It'll be worth it. I promise you. Having poor recovery or stress will screw up metabolic functions and hormones like nothing else. Yeah, I know there are a lot of stresses in life that we can't seem to get around. family, friends, social media, jobs, kids, rush hour traffic, all of that shit is going to contribute to stress. We have to be able to mitigate that as best as we can to minimize stress. And yes, exercise in itself and dieting is stress to your body. What does your body tend to do when it's stressed? It wants to try to adapt to make you bigger, stronger, faster, better endurance. Yes, lose weight. But if the stress gets to be too much, guess who loses? You do. You get sick, you get injured, you have poor energy, your hormones are shit, you're functioning like crap, you feel miserable. Fitter people function better. You are the way that you are because of the things that you do or don't do. Quit blaming other shit. If it's important to you, you will do it or you will learn to do it. We have access to all this information. Use it. If you're not willing to use it, you're scrolling the internet anyways. Look at what it is that you're doing and say, what am I doing wrong here? If you don't know what you're doing wrong, how are you going to know what it is that you're doing right? So you have to know what you're doing, regardless of if it's right or wrong, in order to make those adjustments. Am I eating too much? Am I not eating enough? What is going on here? Do your best to mitigate stress. Sleep is probably numero uno. If you're not sleeping well, you're not recovering well. If you're not recovering well, you're not building muscle in relation to the exercise. And then you become metabolically bankrupt. System is just not going to work to its best. And I know this is a hard one to mitigate because stress is the bullshit that we deal with all the time. So you got to do your best on that one. We mentioned this earlier. Emotional eating. I'm sad. I'm going to have Uber. If you do not plan out your day, meal by meal by meal, I'm willing to bet that you're going to mess it up. If you are going to be leaving the house for more than a few hours, most of us have an idea when we leave the house how long we're going to be gone for. You know, if you're going to work, hey, you're going to be gone for 8, 9, or 10 hours with the commute, yada, yada, yada. What am I going to eat? I'll just grab what's convenient. Well, what is convenient? All the shit is very convenient. You can't drive 50 feet down the road without drive-thrus, without Dairy Queens and McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and buy one, get one frees and Tim Hortons. Oh, it's quick, it's so convenient. If you are looking at your car seat and you're going to be out of the house for more than a few hours and there is not a cooler there with food in it, you're going to mess this up. It's not going to work. I guarantee you, it is not going to work. You may get away with that every once in a while. And yes, we get caught in a bind sometimes. We can make better choices at some of these places. Yes, I understand that. But then it comes back to rule number 1, eating healthy versus eating right. I'm sure you can find yourself a chicken salad that's 800 calories when you probably should be eating 400 or 500 maybe. That's one meal. You're already 300 calories over. Remember the part about exercise being a small window of change? Well, you just blew that window way open with one meal. That's the shit that's going to catch up to you. Day after day, week after week, weight loss is a process of repetition over and over and over again. Every time you derail that process by eating emotionally or whatever, because it's Friday, because it's your great uncle's next door neighbor's nephew's dog's birthday, or it's the summer, or it's vacation, or it's the holidays, like Christmas, New Year's, Easter, Thanksgiving, birthdays, wife's birthdays, anniversaries. There is a reason every moment of every day to eat like shit. Choose your hard. Or, like I said, be happy being the non-frustrated fat person because you understand what it is that you're doing wrong. So therefore, you are not frustrated by your lack of results because you know that you're messing this up. We know what good food is. Go figure. Do we need a pyramid? Do we need the pyramid? that's messed up anyways, upside down or top to bottom. What they fail to mention on the pyramid is it's only as good as the quantity of food that you're eating. You could be eating every single thing on the pyramid, but if you're having too much of it, you're going to get fat. Pyramid's not going to work. Pyramid looks different for everybody, depending on what you're doing. It's amazing the money that we will justify spending on things that are friggin' irrelevant. How many of us drive a car that's probably worth more than $40,000, $50,000, $60,000? Just about every car made now is worth that or more. Yet, oh my God, I don't want to spend $1,000 on my health or nutrition or hormonal optimization or supplements. Oh, you know how much that stuff costs? But you justify buying the car to go to your shitty job that you hate, where you're going to do that for 30 or 35 years to have a shitty pension so they can give you a few weeks off a year to have vacation that you can't afford to do anything with. Does that seem like priorities are kind of maybe a little bit out of whack? If this is important to you, you will do what it takes in order to get it done, regardless of how hard it is. Regardless of what it might cost, if it means that you have to shuffle some things around. I know people that have said to me, oh, I can't afford coaching. And I see them with a $7 fucking latte every day from Starbucks. They probably spend $200, $300, $400 a month at coffee shops. They'll buy a Monster energy drink for $4. They'll go to Tim Hortons and have a triple and a muffin because I'm eating healthy. It's just 500 calories and $7. I can't afford coaching. You can't afford not to have coaching. It's not about what you should be spending. It's about prioritizing the shit that you're spending it on and how important is this to you. If this is important to you, if you've been chasing this elusive problem of fat loss your whole life, the problem is you. You are the problem. Smarten the shit up. Too much cardio. We talked about that earlier. In order to lose a pound of fat a day, you have to be in a 500 pound of fat a week. You have to be in a 500 calorie daily deficit. 500 calories doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it has to be a deficit, not an excess. Every single day times 7 for 1 pound. If you're off a few of those days and you have 500 calories extra, you've just broken even. And 500 calories is not a lot. I guarantee some of you are doing that in coffee additives by adding sugar and adding whatever to it and throwing whipped cream and 3 creams and 2 sugars because you don't like coffee, you like sugar and fat disguised as coffee. All this shit adds up. It's all going into your daily total. So before you put the shit in your mouth, if it has calories in it, consider putting it in a calorie tracker and looking at your day over the course of a week and saying, this is why I'm fat, because I'm not in a deficit. This is why the scale went up or didn't go down. It's not because you didn't exercise long enough, although that's probably one of the reasons. Cardio should be used as an adjunct to weight training for the cardiovascular benefits, but also for the fact that it's calorie wasting. It's taking away and contributing to that deficit that we're looking to build. It's not a be-all and end-all. And as I said, a couple extra bites here and there, you just wiped out the fact that you did cardio. So if that seems to be a fair trade for you, then who am I to say don't do it? But like I said, if you've been on that machine for 6 months and you still look like shit, you need to do something differently. You really do. If you don't have a plan, if you're not tracking your food, then you don't know what you're even doing wrong. How can you even go about doing it right if you don't know what it is that you're doing wrong? Protein is a constant. You require that when you're training hard and there's stimulus. So the levers that you have to pull are the amount of fat and carbohydrates you take in. The amount of fat that we need is pretty low. Maybe 15 to 20% of our total daily caloric allotment. It's not a ton. So the more fat that you have and the more carbohydrates that you have above and beyond what your body requires, it's just going to go on as body fat. That's it. So you've decided to do weights. Congratulations, that's awesome. But here's the thing. I go into the gym regularly, yet probably 90% of the people in there are either doing stupid shit that isn't activating any muscle, or they're doing it at such a crappy low intensity that they're not building any stress that's causing our bodies the need to adapt by getting stronger and building new muscle. If you're just throwing the weight around, or you're swinging shit, or you're doing some other exercise that nobody has ever seen before, you haven't really done your homework, have you? You haven't accessed the millions of resources that we have available to us. Take your favorite fitness influencer, look at an exercise video and say, do I do it like that? And do I do it hard enough that it feels difficult to complete? Because I know where our brains go when we do hard shit. They say, oh, stop doing that. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. Well, you have to learn to live in a state of discomfort when it comes to exercise. If it becomes comfortable or if it becomes easy, guess what? It's not going to be hard enough to create adaptive response in which it's the stimulus that you're looking for that's going to push the result that you want. If you're just going in there to move weight around and not be strenuous about it, all you're doing is burning a few calories. It's not really doing a whole heck of a lot. And that's why year after year, you don't look any different. You should be able to go in there and after 3 or 4 months of doing things properly, consistently, as long as you're gauging progress. And how do you gauge progress? You're stepping on the scale. You're looking in the mirror. You're seeing how your clothes fit or don't fit, heaven forbid. Or you have a coach that's overlooking these things, that's competent and confident in their ability to prescribe things properly, that all you have to do is follow along. It's not a problem of, oh, the coach. The problem is you. You're not following the plan. Don't hire me. Figure the shit out on your own. That's great. That's commendable. That is the hallmark of good coaching, is to not require a coach necessarily, because you built the knowledge, you have the motivation, you have the skill set. All you have to do is execute. But that's where people go wrong, and they're not executing. They're not doing it because it's hard. Do hard shit. It will be worth it. You're not climbing Mount Everest for the view. It's because you like to do hard things. That's what produces results that separate you from everybody else. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it, and there would be no need for coaches. There would be no need for diet programs and nutrition programs and weight loss drugs. There'd be no need. Why is there a need for it? Because it's hard. Embrace the suck. Being sick and infirmed is way harder. If you need a hand with this, putting my link in the description, contact us for coaching. We take this shit seriously. We produce good results, and we've been doing it for years and years and years and years. I won't steer you wrong, because I give a shit about getting results. It's not about making money. It's about getting results, which then make money, which is pretty much a good goal. But the primary goal is to create billboards for your business. And those billboards are your clients that are getting amazing results, that people are saying, holy shit, you look great. What are you doing? This is what I'm doing. Justify it to yourself or not. Consider the expense. But then consider the cost. Consider how important it is to you, emotionally, psychologically, to you or your partner. You don't want to have people take care of you because you've been unwilling to take care of yourself. That is not fair. Do the shit, do it properly, learn how to do it, rinse and repeat. It's not an application. It's the way that you do things. It's the way that you live. You don't have to be so stringent, militant that this is a 24/7 thing, but you have to work hard enough to create the result that lets you appreciate those finer things. So those finer things are not day in and day out, because then they're not so fine, are they? They're just making you fat. So for now, signing off. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all those cool things. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to making more videos. Contact us for coaching. Watch some more of our videos. And thanks again. I'm out.